Africa, a mysterious continent where nature does not just exist, but seems to tell stories with every breath and glance. Have you ever wondered what secrets lie hidden in the wildness of the Skeleton Coast, where Namibia's shoreline is like a desolate painting, filled with ancient shipwrecks swallowed by fierce waves? Beyond that, Africa's majestic waterfalls flow like silver ribbons, capturing every eye and echoing the stories of earth and sky through the centuries. And beneath the surface, the magnificent Sof Omar caves in Ethiopia, along with the sharp limestone forests of Tsingy de Bemaraha in Madagascar, standing as nature's masterpieces carved in silence. Join us as we uncover these natural wonders kept like treasures by the locals, and you will see that Africa is not just land. It is a journey of mysteries never before revealed. This is a journey into mysteries never before revealed. Loango National Park, one of the most untouched and extraordinary sanctuaries in Africa. The only place on Earth where elephants, lions and hippos walk side by side along ocean beaches as if the wild itself were writing its story in the sand. They call it the coastal Serengeti for its astonishing biodiversity. Rainforests, swamps, rivers, grasslands and endless deserted coastlines woven together into a primeval world untouched by human hands. Wildlife, all bound together in one coastal sanctuary. Loango is where the line between forest and sea completely dissolves, creating an ecosystem so rare it feels almost impossible to replicate. And then, as the scene shifts, emerges Uzoud Falls, Morocco's tallest and most majestic waterfall, standing nearly 360 feet high. It plunges like a silver ribbon from the heavens, painting a breathtaking spectacle across the semi-desert landscape. Water cascades over layers of red rock, spraying cool mist into the air, weaving natural rainbows that linger almost the entire day. What makes this place truly extraordinary is the paradox it embodies. A lush green oasis set against barren drylands, encircled by olive groves, deep gorges and untouched wildlife. Here, the scenery becomes a dialogue of contrasts, the relentless power of water against the silence of the desert. And you, if you stood before this wonder, which voice would echo louder in your soul? From the waterfall, the journey leads us to Tassili, a sandstone mountain range in southeastern Algeria, standing out like a monument in the endless Sahara. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it holds a rare blend of natural and cultural treasures. Celebrated worldwide for its thousands of ancient rock paintings and carvings, dating back from 6,000 to over 12,000 years. A true outdoor museum where history is etched into stone. But the wonder does not end there. This land unveils surreal landscapes sculpted by erosion. Sandstone blocks, transformed into petrified forests, towering columns, natural arches and narrow gorges. To step into Tassili is to feel as though you've set foot on another planet, where strange forms rise under the fierce red glow of stone, shapes so uncanny they seem pulled from dreams. And you, if you found yourself there, would you still believe you were on Earth? From there, the journey carries us to the Sodilo Hills, an ancient rocky complex in the arid northwest of Botswana. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site for its archaeological, spiritual and artistic significance, this sacred place is home to more than 4,500 rock paintings, spanning tens of thousands of years, believed to have been created by the ancient San people. Sodilo is not only an open-air museum, but also revered by locals as holy ground, a place they believe to be the very birthplace of humanity. The landscape here leaves an unforgettable impression. Bare peaks of stone rising abruptly from flat, cracked plains. Cliffs towering over 300 feet above the earth below. As sunlight strikes the rock art, the colours shift throughout the day, making the images appear to move, as if the past itself were alive and breathing before your eyes. And you, standing beneath these cliffs, watching ancient figures shimmer in the light, would you believe it to be only an illusion, or the true memory of humankind? And then we are carried into Salonga, the largest national park in Africa and the greatest protected rainforest on the continent. Hidden deep in the Congo River basin, this vast wilderness is almost unreachable by road. Its paths traced only by winding rivers. It is one of the few places left on Earth where untouched primary rainforest still breathes, free from human intrusion. Salonga is known worldwide as the sanctuary of species so rare they feel almost mythical. The secretive bonobo, the elusive forest elephant, the radiant Congo peacock, each with unique traits found nowhere else on Earth. The landscape is purely wild. Dark, dense forests, underground rivers twisting in silence, a blanket of fog stretching for miles. In some places, the humidity is so intense that sunlight cannot pierce the canopy, creating a forest where day itself resembles night. If this journey has touched your heart, leave a comment, drop a heart, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe so you can join us on the next great adventure that awaits. And then the journey shifts to the Skeleton Coast, stretching for nearly 310 miles along the Atlantic in northwestern Namibia, a barren shoreline cloaked in fog and battered by relentless winds, a place where survival itself is a struggle for both humans and animals. Would you dare to stand on this edge of existence, where life and death are separated by only a breath? Hundreds of shipwrecks lie scattered along the shoreline. Vessels defeated by the brutal ocean currents, treacherous terrain, and the thick veil of fog. The name Skeleton Coast was born from the countless bones of whales, seals, and even humans that remain upon its sands. A famous tale recalls how sailors stranded here tried to cross the desert on foot, yet few, if any, ever survived. Since the 15th century, this haunted stretch has carried historical weight, feared by sea explorers who dared to chart its deadly waters. Would you place yourself in their shoes, with an endless desert ahead and a merciless ocean behind? And then the journey shifts to Cederberg, a mountain range carved in red sandstone, shaped by erosion into arches and domes that feel both ancient and otherworldly. The dry air and harsh sunlight turn the rock faces into shifting palettes of colour, glowing brightest at sunrise and sunset. And when darkness falls, the night sky here unveils itself like a vast tapestry of stars, reminding us of our fragile place beneath the infinite cosmos. What makes Cederberg truly unique is the rare harmony of rugged terrain, natural wonders, and profound cultural history. Standing here feels like stepping into a timeless world, a place where one connects deeply with both nature and human heritage. And you, under that vast canopy of stars, would you feel small and fragile, or would you feel part of the infinite? Then the journey carries us to Lake Natron, A place that stands out with waters of deep red and dark orange, mirroring sky and mountains in a surreal vision rare on Earth. Its waters reach extreme alkalinity, with a pH near 10.5 and temperatures up to 140 degrees Celsius. A harsh environment where only pigment-producing microbes and the resilient Alcalapia fish endure. The lake's eerie colour is born from microbes thriving in sodium carbonate-rich waters, combined with natural mineral reactions. And perhaps most haunting of all, any creature that falls into the lake is quickly calcified, its form preserved like a fossil in the present day. A lake that is both a mirror of the heavens and a natural tomb. From there, the journey flows into Manapools, one of the last remaining places in Africa where true wilderness still endures. Known for the landscapes of the Zambezi River, towering ancient trees and seasonal pools. During the dry season, the shallow waters that remain draw animals in desperation. Elephants, hippos, buffalo, crocodiles, all gathering to survive. This is also one of the rare sanctuaries where visitors can witness wildlife up close without the barrier of a vehicle. Yet Manapools is more than wilderness. It is a sacred ground, woven with ancestral legends and ancient rituals of the local people. And you? If you walked here, would you see only the animals? Or would you also feel the echo of ancestors stirring in the wind? And then, the path carries us to the Andringitra Mountains, one of Madagascar's most ancient geological realms, where granite rock was born more than 2 billion years ago, and peaks rise nearly 8,700 feet into the sky. The terrain is rugged and diverse. Narrow valleys, wide plateaus, sheer cliffs, and rivers cutting through deep gorges. The beauty of Andringitra lies in its striking contrasts. The ancient grey of granite against the lush green of forests, highland grasses and shrubs. In the early mornings, mist blankets the valleys while sunlight glimmers across the rock faces, creating a landscape both magical and mythical. Local people believe this land is sacred, that the strange winds are whispers from ancestral spirits. And you, standing in that misty valley, would you call it only wind, or the voices of the past echoing across time? And then the journey leads us to Lake Malawi, one of the oldest and deepest freshwater lakes on Earth, formed millions of years ago through the great rifting of the Earth's crust. It stretches nearly 370 miles in length, plunging to depths of over 2,300 feet. A lake that has shaped both the ecology and history of its region. Its most unique treasure lies in its biodiversity, with more than 800 species of brilliantly coloured cichlid fish found nowhere else on Earth. The lake is also famed for its crystal clear waters and shifting shades of blue, creating natural vistas so breathtaking they seem unreal. At night, local fishermen speak of strange, flickering lights dancing across the water's surface. Mysteries still left unexplained. And throughout history, Lake Malawi has served as a vital trade route from ancient times through the colonial era, connecting cultures and driving development across the land. And you, when you look into its tranquil waters, do you see only beauty, or do you sense secrets still waiting beneath the surface? If this journey has touched your heart, leave a comment, drop a heart, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe so you can join us on the next great adventure that awaits. The towering sand dunes of the Sahara, rising nearly 490 feet into the sky. Their beauty lies in the shifting colours of the sand beneath the sun, pale yellow at times, blazing orange-red at others, creating a surreal vision as if painted by the desert itself. When night descends, the land sinks into absolute silence, broken only by the whisper of wind and grains of sand slipping across the surface. On moonlit nights, some have spoken of faint glowing lights drifting across the dunes with no known source. Legends say this was once a cursed city, swallowed by the desert's wrath and turned to sand. These strange phenomena, woven with haunting beauty, have made Ugbi a symbol of the most mysterious and captivating face of the Sahara. And you? Would you dare to walk its dunes, knowing every step may echo with a curse from the past? From here, the journey carries us to Gorongosa National Park in central Mozambique, covering more than 1,500 square miles of wilderness. A land of lowlands, hills and wetlands. Once scarred by the devastation of war, Gorongosa now rises again, a testament to the resilience and healing power of nature. Gorongosa, once scarred by war and hunting, now stands as a powerful symbol of Africa's natural recovery. Home to thousands of plant and animal species, it shelters more than 400 kinds of birds, along with great beasts like elephants, lions, antelopes and hippos. One of the park's greatest discoveries is the presence of animal fossils millions of years old, along with signs of early humans dating back over 100,000 years. In recent years, scientists have uncovered an entirely new kind of spider and a plant species never before recorded. Yet, Gorongosa is more than science and wilderness. It is also a place wrapped in stories of ancestral spirits and echoes of ancient rituals. And then, from the heart of the land, we journey to Nosy Iranga, a breathtaking island marked by a white sandbar nearly 1 mile long, visible only when the tide retreats, a hidden bridge that binds two parts of the island together. Here, visitors can walk across the ocean without a boat, an experience almost unheard of in the world. The waters are so clear that fish can be seen swimming nearly 30 feet below. Would you dare to walk that fragile path of sand, suspended between sea and sky? Nosy Iranga is not only a miraculous sandbar, but a sacred gift of the ocean. Each year, dozens of sea turtles crawl ashore to lay their eggs, entrusting the sands with the promise of new life. The coral reefs surrounding the island remain untouched, sheltering hundreds of rare marine species. At sunset, the skies above transform into a masterpiece of orange, purple and blue. Colours so rare, they etch themselves into memory, a vision never forgotten. And then, the journey carries us to Sipi Falls, one of Uganda's most striking waterfalls, famed for its towering height of nearly 330 feet and its breathtaking natural scenery. A series of cascades plunges down from the highlands, forming a roaring white curtain in the wilderness. Around it, sheer rock cliffs rise beside dense green vegetation, opening into sweeping views of the plains below the mountains. Sipi Falls captivates through its contrasts. The raging force of water against the calm serenity of the mountains. Cool weather, high altitude, and heavy humidity weave light mists that drift in the air. Rainbows often shimmering at the base of the falls. And you? Would you not long to stand there beneath its thundering veil, hearing nature's primal voice echo within your soul? In northern Ethiopia, the Simien Mountains rise as one of Africa's most breathtaking highlands. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, the park is carved with sheer slopes, cliffs that tower thousands of feet, and valleys etched over endless time. Unlike most mountain ranges, Simeon reveals a layered structure. Sharp peaks piercing the sky, vast highland grasslands, and dizzying vertical drop-offs. The climate shifts dramatically with elevation, giving each forest tier and grassland zone its own distinct face. Simeon is also home to rare creatures found nowhere else. The gelada baboon perched on cliffs, the walia ibex clinging to impossible rock walls, and the elusive Ethiopian wolf roaming the high plateaus. The fusion of wild beauty, staggering height, and geographic isolation makes this one of Africa's most majestic and least visited landscapes. And then the journey flows into the Kitulo Plateau, rising nearly 9,200 feet above sea level. A place celebrated as the Garden of Eden of Africa for its dazzling bloom of wildflowers during the rainy season. It is also the first national park in Africa created primarily to protect plant life, orchids, wildflowers, and rare high-altitude species that turn the plateau into a living sea of colour. And you, would you walk this boundless garden, feeling nature breathe in rhythm with your own heart? The Kitulo Plateau rises as a landscape unlike most of Africa. Not jungle, not desert, but endless alpine grasslands bursting with colour, stretching all the way to the horizon. Kitulo leaves a lasting impression with its profound silence, its fresh air, and its cool climate that lingers throughout the year. If this journey has touched your heart, leave a comment, drop a heart, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe so you can join us on the next great adventure that awaits. And then the journey moves to Kruger National Park, the largest and oldest national park in South Africa, covering about 7,500 square miles, larger than some entire countries. It is one of the rare places on Earth where the full Big Five await. Lions, elephants, rhinos, buffalo and leopards still roam free in the wild. Kruger is also celebrated for its abundance, with more than 140 species of mammals and over 500 species of birds, making it one of the richest ecosystems in all of Africa. And you, would you not wish to stand here to witness the great Big Five sharing the same untamed kingdom? From here, the journey flows to Serengeti National Park, established in 1951 and spanning nearly 5,700 square miles, one of the largest and most renowned wildlife reserves in the world. Its landscapes stretch endlessly. Vast grasslands, shadowed forests and winding rivers, all forming the perfect stage for life to thrive. Serengeti is most famous for the greatest animal migration on Earth, where more than 1.5 million wildebeest and around 25,000 zebras move together each year in search of food and water. The name Serengeti comes from the Maasai language, meaning the land that goes on forever, a name that perfectly captures its boundless scenery. And you? Can you imagine standing amidst this living tide, feeling the ground tremble beneath millions of beating hooves? Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1981, Serengeti embodies the untamed beauty of Africa, a powerful example of sustainable conservation and ecotourism. And then the journey leads us to Erta Ale, one of the oldest and most dangerous active volcanoes in the world, set in one of the hottest and driest places on Earth. It is famed for its persistent lava lake, an extremely rare geological phenomenon found in only a handful of places on the planet. Erta Ale is one of the few volcanoes where people can witness bubbling lava flowing almost continuously for decades. The landscape here is otherworldly. Black lava flows twisting like vast webs, cracked crusts stretching across the ground, and sulphur smoke drifting from secondary vents. Erta Ale is not just a geological site. It is a raw symbol of the primal force that beats deep within the earth. Would you dare stand at its edge to feel the fiery heartbeat of the planet beneath your feet? And then, from fire to water, the scene transforms with Uzoud Falls, the highest waterfall in West Africa, where water plunges from nearly 260 feet, creating a rare and powerful vision, nestled within a cool rainforest, framed by steep cliffs and evergreen plants thriving year-round. Uzoud Falls rises as an oasis of life in the heart of untamed wilderness. What makes Uzoud Falls extraordinary is that its waters never stop flowing, even through the dry seasons, fed by hidden underground springs deep within the mountain. Around the falls, hundreds of birds and bats make their home, their calls and wings creating echoing natural sounds that resonate day and night. When sunlight passes through the falling water, small rainbows appear, a gentle omen in a setting both majestic and serene. And then, the path carries us to Samburu National Reserve, a unique wildlife sanctuary in northern Kenya, renowned for its rare animal species and enchanting semi-arid landscapes that set it apart from the rest of Africa. Would you not wish to see for yourself a land where harshness gives birth to beauty so rare? And then, the journey leads us to Tsingy de Bemaraha National Park, one of the most unique and inaccessible natural heritage sites in the world, recognized by UNESCO. Famous for its razor-sharp limestone formations known as Tsingy, rising like a natural stone maze that stretches for hundreds of miles. Would you dare to wander through this labyrinth, where every jagged peak seems like a blade piercing upward from the earth itself? And then the journey descends into the Fish River Canyon, the largest canyon in Africa and one of the greatest on Earth, stretching nearly 100 miles long and plunging more than 1,800 feet deep, carved hundreds of millions of years ago by tectonic forces and the flow of an ancient river. The canyon is defined by sheer cliffs, winding bends shaped like the spine of a giant, and a dry, haunting emptiness that lingers in the air. The scenery here is unlike anywhere else, a fusion of desert, ancient stone, and silence echoing from a primordial age. And would you dare to stand before this abyss, to listen to the whispers of millions of years buried in its depths? If this journey has touched your heart, leave a comment, drop a heart, share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe so you can join us on the next great adventure that awaits. And so, our journey across Africa comes to an end. From roaring waterfalls crashing like eternal symphonies, to burning deserts where the wind and sand howl, from ancient rainforests where life remains untouched, to fiery volcanoes that beat like the heart of the earth itself. All of it woven together into a vision both majestic and fragile. Africa is not just a continent. It is the living memory of our planet, a place where nature and humanity still move to the most primal rhythms. Every mountain, every river, every migrating herd reminds us that we are but a small part of Earth's grand eternal song. What about you? If one day you stood here, in the middle of this timeless painting, what would you hear echoing within your heart? If this journey touched you, leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and spread this story with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe so you can continue walking with us. into the next journeys, where countless wonders of the world are still waiting to be told.